In this video, we will show you how to replace your rear wheel bearing and hub assembly on this Honda Civic. This will be located behind your rear wheel. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we have to do is safely raise and support the rear of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground, and I like to have the suspension hanging. Continuing on, we're going to remove the wheel by removing all 5 of our 19mm lug nuts, and we can get the wheel off of here. A quick inspection of all hardware as we continue, replace as necessary. Now that we have the wheel off, just a quick inspection of the brakes as we continue on. If yours look like these, they need to be replaced. Now we need to dislodge our emergency brake cable. For that, we're going to make our way along the front rear of the backing plate here. We can see that there's a 12mm bolt holding this emergency brake cable in place to that knuckle. There's that bolt right there. And we have movement from our cable. Now just above that area we have another bolt. We'll be using a 12mm for this one. Right up here. This is holding the flex hose in place. There's that. And we've got movement. Now we're going to start dislodging our rear caliper from the area. For this, we don't have to remove the caliper from the bracket. We're going to remove the entire bracket from the area. Up along the top area here on the back side, you can feel that there's a 14mm headed mounting bolt holding that bracket in place. There's another one just down along the bottom as well. We'll start with the upper one. Fully remove it, a quick inspection, start it back in, just a couple threads. There's that one. It's time for the lower mounting bolt. Both of those out of there. We should be able to take hold of this caliper and slide it out of place. Just a quick inspection of the brake pads, of course. We'll set this aside. It's time to remove the brake rotor. To remove your brake rotor, you're typically going to find that you have 2 Phillips head screws holding it in place. Before removing those screws, it's a good idea to use one of your original lug nuts. We're just going to start it onto any one of the lug studs. We don't need to go all the way. Essentially, this will just hold it in place so it does not fall off and potentially hurt us. Continuing on, to remove those 2 Phillips head screws, I like to have an impact bit driver and a hammer, of course. We're going to be putting this into the screw here. We'll turn counterclockwise, applying counterclockwise pressure, and tap on this with a hammer. We should be able to break this free. Inspection of the hardware as we continue on. Let's repeat this process down to the next one. Remove the lug nut and the rotor. Now we're going to make our way along the back side of the knuckle here, which is where we're going to find our 4 14mm headed mounting bolts. You can see 3 of them from the rearward side. The 4th one's going to be on the upper corner on the forward side. We're just going to start with the 3 that we can see back here. Up along the top. Break this free. I'm going to start it back in a couple threads once I have it fully out of position. That one looks good. Let's get the next one here. This next one's in the far corner all the way towards the front there. You can gain access to this one from either the front or the rear. Okay, let's get that front one up on the top corner. Now for this mounting bolt, you can either flex the ABS wire out of place, or you can just pull it right out of its mounting bracket. That's really up to you. You should be able to get your 14mm socket in there. Now we're holding onto that wheel bearing. We can fully remove that mounting bolt that we still have in place. To remove the wheel bearing, we can do this using a hammer. We're going to start tapping on this, trying to drive it out and away from the knuckle. There it is, friend. Prior to installation, it's time to clean up the mating surface, not only along this outer portion here, but also inside of this port. It's common to see some corrosion in here. Also, when cleaning, you want to pay attention to the tip of your ABS sensor. Use a wire brush if necessary. Just careful around that sensor. We don't want to cause any damage there. A little bit of parts cleaner. Now that I have that cleaned down, I'm just going to give it a thorough inspection. I can feel that there is some corrosion buildup, which is common in this area. We have this small port here for moisture to make its way up and in, and then of course it gets caught. I'm just going to scrape that out. We'll make sure this is a clean mating surface. Once you have that cleaned up well enough, we'll continue on with some anti-seize in this area. The one area that we do not want to coat is up where that ABS wheel speed sensor is. We do not need to have any of this on that sensor. Just apply a thin amount, making its way all the way around here. If we get close to the sensor, we'll just make sure we pull away. All right, let's get ready to install that brand new rear wheel bearing. Go ahead and carefully slide that into place. We're trying to align each one of our mounting bolt ports so we can start on the mounting bolts. Of course, those will be coming through from the backside towards the front. As far as the threads on these, I'm using some blue thread locker. Go ahead and start in each one of the mounting bolts. After they're all started in, we'll snug them up. The torque for these is 47 foot-pounds. Let's get that last one in place, just on the opposite side there. They're all snug. Now let's torque them to that 47 foot-pounds. Now that we have that mounted, the next thing we'll do is apply some copper anti-seize to the mounting surface where our brake rotor is going to sit. Just need a small brush for this. A small amount will do. Just make your way all the way around. When installing this anti-seize, it's a good idea to pay a little extra attention to each one of those mounting bolt ports. We'll apply a little bit more in these two areas. The next thing we need to do is clean the backside of our brake rotor along the area where the brand new wheel bearing is going to sit. If you have any rust or debris here, go ahead and clean it down. Just thorough inspection, confirm there's no miscellaneous debris here that can cause a brake pulsation if this is off kilter. When installing the brake rotor, the last thing we'll be paying attention for this at least is just the forward side. We want to make sure that we have our mounting screw ports aligned with the area on our wheel bearing. I can see both of those are properly aligned. Let's continue on with installing each of our 2 Phillips head mounting screws, holding this in place. For these mounting screws, we are not using any thread locker. We already have anti-seize in place. Start them in, snug them up. Now let's just make sure they're tight. Let's get this caliper in place. While holding it in position, we'll continue on with our 2 14mm headed mounting bolts for each of these. Once again, I'm using blue thread locker. They're both started in, let's snug them up. Once they're both snug, the torque for these is 55 foot-pounds. Double check, make sure that's secured in place. Now back along the front side here. Let's reattach our brake flex hose in place. We have our 12mm headed mounting bolts started in, snug it up. Now continuing in that same area, we're going to resecure our emergency brake cable. Just flex that to get it into position, start in the mounting bolt and snug it up. Make sure that's secured in place. This looks good back here. One last quick inspection in this area and we can reinstall our wheel. Now that I have the wheel back on the ground, we'll be torquing these lug nuts in a crisscross manner to that 80 foot-pounds. Torqued. Okay friend, we finished our installation. The next thing you need to do is hop in the passenger compartment. You're going to pump up that brake pedal till it's nice and firm. After that, you can take your vehicle for a road test, look for lights, make sure there's no odd noises, and it's a good idea to get yourself a 4-wheel alignment. Aside from that, thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.